Hi, this is Betty Bassett. I am attempting to teach art. um, this is going to be the start of art study, and it's following the Charlotte Mason tradition of just viewing art. So right here I have Peter Bruegel's um, landscape with the fall of Icarus. So Icarus is in the water here, and I will tell the story about what happened. And essentially, in homeschooling art or after schooling art, using the Charlotte Mason technique, then essentially you look at the picture um, for 5 or 15 minutes. Memorize it to the point where you close your eyes, then you can see every detail and aspect of it, and then the picture is taken away and you verbally recall, the elements of the picture. So Peter Brugel is a Dutch painter. He lived in around the end of the Middle Ages and the start of the Renaissance period. Around 1560, that's when this painting was done. He is actually pretty incredible. But I wanted to discuss this painting. It is very exquisite, and it follows the story of Icarus, but it starts way before then. It starts with Daedalus. Here you go. Here's a picture of Daedalus. He was in Greek mythology, and he was a great inventor. And it is said that he invented carpentry. So he was from Athens, Greece, and he did something bad, and so they kicked him out, and he went to Crete, the island of Crete. And at that time, King Minos lived there. And here is a statue of King Minos. He happened to have a minotaur in his possession, and he commissioned Daedalus to construct a maze that was so complicated that anyone that went into the maze could never find their way back out. So then King Minos had the habit of putting his enemies into the maze so that the Minotaur could devour them. King Minos and King Aegeus of Athens had a thing, and so King Aegeus is to send 7 men and 7 women to be sacrificed to the Minotaur every year. So then that wasn't a good thing. An annual sacrifice. So one year, Theseus, who is Aegeus' son, and here's Theseus, right here, said, okay, well, I'm gonna go and kill the Minotaur. I'm going to volunteer myself as one of the 7 men to go. And so he went to Crete, and the daughter of King Minos is Ariadne, and so she fell in love with Theseus, and she did not want anything bad to happen to him. So then she colluded with Daedalus to somehow save Theseus. Okay, so yeah, so Daedalus said, okay, well, here's is a spool of thread, and go into the Minotaur's lair, maze, and once you have, slain him, then, you can follow the thread back out. And that's what happened. And so then at the end of the day, King Minos was not happy with Daedalus' contribution to, the death of the Minotaur and Theseus' escape, and Ariadne went with them. So then he put Daedalus in a tower, as a way of imprisoning him. But then Icarus, who was the son of Daedalus, got imprisoned also. So the only way that Daedalus could figure out how to escape from the tower is to construct wings that are made of feathers and candle wax. And once the wings were constructed, then he fashioned one for himself and one for Icarus. And he said, don't go too close to the sun, otherwise the candle will melt, and don't go too close to the sea, otherwise the water will get on it, and you'll crash into the ocean. Well, the thing is that Icarus ended up flying too close to the sun, and his wings, the candle wax on his wings melted. So he plunged into the sea. So here he is right here. Now, I know there's a lot of glare from the light and everything, but this piece is so interesting. As you can see, the horizon is right here, and there's a sun here. So this is the setting sun. So I always ask my student, what time of day is it? Because it is about evening time, because obviously it melted away the wax. So right here is still casting a light, okay, and as it gets further away from the sun, then it's getting darker and darker, and it's difficult to see the gradations in coloration of this piece, but it's kind of greenish here, bluish, white, orange, pink. There's Brugel does a lot with color, and you can just stand here and just, fall in love with the coloration of the sky. It's truly amazing. There's a reflection of the setting sun, and here also is a reflection of the sky against the sea. And in the sea, it's just so beautiful, because there's white and gray, green, yellow, orange, dark green, medium green right here. It's just so beautiful. So the setting sun is all the way in the back. So it's casting a light this way. And so right here you can see shadow, and right here is some shadowing, and right here you can see the shadowing of the feet. So I don't think that he's perfectly consistent like a photographer in the way that he shadows his things, but you definitely get a concept of where the light source is. Then I also asked my children, is it a calm day or a windy day? So if you take a look at the sails here, the wind has caught it. So obviously, and right here also, the wind, you know, is blowing on it. So it's like blowing out. And yeah, so it is a windy day. So what time of year is all of this transpiring? Is it spring, summer, winter, you know, fall? What time of year is it? So as you can see, the farmer is tilling the land. He's breaking it up, so he's going to apply seeds upon the ground next. So obviously it's springtime. So let me see, what else is there? You can also see like how things in the foreground are very vivid. The colors are very strong, they're vibrant, loud. Yeah, so everything in the foreground here is, you know, is loud. And as you go back into the scenery, there's a sense of space and distance. Like there's actually a city here, and the city is kind of far away. And there's like far less detail that you can see. And it's kind of like made smaller. But there's also a city right here. If you look really closely, because you can see the roof line. And that city, or grouping of houses, you really can't see that very much at all because it is further away. So this is like the background, and I don't know, the medium ground, and this is the foreground. Yeah, so I think that's kind of probably most of what I noticed about this painting. There's a vinaigrette, I think that's how you say it. Oops. I don't think I can do this. Okay, so I can't get the picture back. So yeah, so the edges of it is darker to make the center, you know, everything else, you know, it kind of frames it. So that's a photographer technique for sure. And Brugel has a habit of painting his things like from a high point of view, kind of like if you can shoot your camera like straight on, then you'll have a certain perspective. Or if you shoot your camera from like down low and you're looking up at something, then you're gonna have a kind of perspective. Or if you take your camera and then you're like pointing down at something, then a lot of times that's what Brugel does in his work. So just look for that. So yes, please get into the arts and do art as after schooling or homeschooling. And I hope this helps you understand Brugel a little bit, Peter Brugel. Yeah, he's definitely fascinating, and it is wonderful to really understand the context of what an artist is kind of communicating, you know, the entire story of what is conveyed, you know, in a picture. So yeah, well, thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody.